The US just wiped out some of Iran's most important navy and oil sites. And at the same time, Trump is saying that this will all be done in an hour. But don't get it twisted, because Iran is definitely not finished. Russia and China are playing the sneaky game, and they might be hiding some very big plans. Recently, strikes from US and Iran, they've continued to hit some key strategic points, air bases, ports, and even some important vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. And this is all because Trump and Netanyahu are trying to push for complete surrender. But surprisingly, Iran actually decided and hit over 50 targets in Israel in just 5 hours. And this also included the capital, Tel Aviv. And here's the reason why I think that defeating Iran is not as straightforward as US and Israel are thinking. But their real power actually lies in the Strait of Hormuz, because this is where the tanker traffic is essentially paralyzed. 1/5 of the world's oil actually passes through there, which actually means that the longer it stays shut down, the more the global prices will continue to explode. The Gulf states like Saudi Arabia and UAE nearly get all of their drinking water from desalination plants on the coast. And all it's going to take is one strike from Iran on one of these plants, and we could be looking at things like mass evacuations and entire economies collapsing within days. Russia is actually condemning the war and actually kind of maintaining more of a neutral stance. But behind the scenes, they're actually feeding Iran real-time intelligence on the movements of US troops and ships. And because of this, it's really helping Iran target American forces more effectively. And this is the kind of move from Russia where they can easily bleed the US without actually firing a single Russian shot or putting a single Russian boot on the ground. China is also kind of playing the same type of game. On the public front, it's actually condemning the war and trying to say that it's pushing for peace in the whole region. But privately, behind the scenes, they're really stockpiling oil. They're even buying crude oil from Iran through shadow tankers. And a very important thing to consider here is that even if oil prices keep going higher, it actually benefits Iran, China, and Russia because it makes them richer. But at the same time, it drags America into another useless Middle Eastern war. Actually, these tactical moves by Iran with the backing of China and Russia, where they're not actually trying to win the war, they're just trying to prolong this thing as long as they can, because the longer it goes on, the more it costs the US. Trump has even said that he wouldn't even mind putting boots on the ground, which, as we know, will put an enormous strain on the US economy and push US soldiers into yet another conflict where they risk losing their lives for not much gain.